All right, folks, we are here today to review the Stone Glacier Sentinel Bino harness. And in my opinion, this Bino harness gets one major thing right that almost all other Bino harnesses on the market have failed to accomplish. So quick overview, what do I need from my Bino harness? Well, for starters, my main binoculars are the SIG Zulu6 HDX Pro 16x50s. These are an incredibly tall pair of binoculars, which really limits the amount of systems that they are compatible with. In addition to that, I prefer to run a very comprehensive chest system, which means I like my phone, a rangefinder, and an accessory pocket that enables me to carry a lot of extra items depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing. So I am not a minimalist Bino harness guy at all. I like a very comprehensive modular chest system. Now, before we get into the specs, quick update from forgedinthebackcountry.com. I am blowing out all of the lifestyle apparel on the site. We're getting ready for a big overhaul in Forged as far as what products we're offering and the direction that we're going. So I'm clearing out all the lifestyle apparel. So if you want a last chance at any of that stuff at rock bottom prices, head on over to forgedinthebackcountry.com. Once this stuff is gone, that's it. I'm not printing anymore. Now, let's dive into the specs. One of the coolest things about the Sentinel harness is the versatile sizing. So essentially, when you open up this lid and take out the binos, this back plate here is essentially Velcroed in, and you can move it up and down, which enables you to fit a variety of different Bino systems, and you can even put some additional padding in the bottom to really optimize the shape of the Bino harness to fit a variety of different binoculars. Overall, this is the best attachment system I have run into yet for two main reasons. One, very little slop in all of the accessory pockets because, except for the one on the bottom, these two wing pockets are attached directly to the Bino harness, and the clips that hold in these side straps actually come out on the outsides of the accessory pockets instead of having them attached directly to the harness and having the accessory pockets kind of flip-flopping around on the thin straps. The material that this is made out of is called Hydra Shield. It claims to be 100% waterproof. I don't think I would go that far, but it's certainly water repellent. Now, there's a variety of accessories you can put on here. There's the rangefinder pocket. There's an additional ballistics pocket that you could use instead of this side pocket here that I choose to use for my phone. There's the bottom pocket, and there's also a bear spray holster that you can buy for it as well. This is magnet free, comes in regular and large. This is the large one I'm wearing right now. And you can see it actually has an incredibly slim fit. Like, this fits really tight to my chest. I do a lot of archery and I can draw my bow back and I never have to worry about anything getting caught on this harness. Now, a couple of the drawbacks. There is no padding on this lid, which means if you take any kind of hit to the front, if you fall, if you bump into a tree, whatever the case may be, your binos are right here. There is no additional padding on this lid like with most other systems. And then finally, there is a lot of Velcro on this Bino harness. The way these wing attachment systems work is by Velcroing on the front and on the back. Here's my opinion. I do not believe that Velcro has any place whatsoever in any apparel or gear that is used in the backcountry. I think there are other superior attachment systems that essentially are just way quieter. The amount of times I have, like, at an inopportune moment kind of caught this just on a little branch walking by, and it makes that noise, and that it has frustrated me greatly. I can't even count the number of times that has happened. So that's kind of like, and in fact, I specifically did not buy this harness to review for multiple years because as soon as I saw all the Velcro, I was like, I want nothing to do with that. It wasn't until I met a good buddy who'd been using this system for years and he kind of convinced me how modular and versatile it was. I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a go. I do find the Velcro mildly annoying, but I wouldn't call it a deal breaker. But if I You know, if Stone Glacier was ever going to do a V2 of this system, I would strongly urge them to find a different attachment system other than the Velcro. So let's take a quick look at the system performance. So very easy to use one-handed. And as long as you pull this lid down, you know, a couple inches, it will catch beneath this lip and stay open. And you can very easily slide the binos in and out. Now, one drawback, because it only holds, let's say, you know, 50 to 60% of the bino, if you bend over a lot, there is definitely an opportunity for these binos to come slipping out. I don't tend to use my tethers a lot on bino harnesses. It is an absolute necessity with this particular harness. And you'll notice I have two. They come right to the kind of neck straps. I really like these tether systems because there's no stretch. So when you drop this, it just gets caught. You don't have to worry about it like stretching out an additional 2 feet. So yeah, I use the tether systems all the time. It has a great little sliding disconnect. So if you're trying to pass somebody your binos, or if you've taken off your bino harness and you just want to use your binos, it's very easy to use that quick disconnect and get access to your binos. Or rangefinder pocket works the same way. Now, the rangefinder pocket is a little bit small. This is a SIG 8K, and this is the biggest rangefinder I can fit in here. I have the Revic BR4, I believe, rangefinder. It will not fit in this pocket, which is unfortunate. However, that being said, same tether system, same quick disconnect system, very easy to use one-handed. This is how I like to set up my final approach for archery. So if I'm going in on the last 150 yards on some type of archery stock, I will open up my binos, I will open up my rangefinder, and that way I have very quiet, quick, easy access to my binos and my rangefinder, and I don't have to worry. I can have my bow in my other hand and I can do everything over here one-handed. Another thing I love about this, and this is why I don't use the ballistics pocket, there's room for an extra magazine in this side pocket here. So the way I like to rifle hunt is one loaded magazine inside my rifle and a second loaded magazine inside my bino harness. I tend to leave my bino harness on while shooting. Lots of times I will use the bino harness for a rear rest, actually. And that way, if things tend to go Western, I run through all 4 rounds in my magazine. I'm not looking for new rounds. I'm not loading up a new magazine. I'm literally removing the one magazine, pulling the second one out, putting it back in, and boom, I'm back in action with more rounds in the chamber. So I love the fact that I don't need a separate ballistics or accessory pocket in order to carry this magazine. And then on my other side, I hold my windicator in this same pocket. There's little elastic bands, keeps everything tight, nothing ever falls out. Very easy to one-hand access to both. Another thing I love, there is 0 bounce to these binoculars because of the tight fit of the lid. And again, you can essentially just move this plate up and down an inch or two. I like to have about a 1/2 inch of this exposed above the eye cups so that the lid kind of grabs on these. But in some other systems that are more rigid, you will get your binoculars tend to bounce around inside a lot. Because this is so slim fitting and tight, there's literally 0 movement of these binoculars inside the harness. And again, kind of table stakes these days, but forward opening system with full enclosure. So it keeps out dust, rain, debris, all of that kind of stuff. Now, one thing I will note, and this might be a bit TMI for most people, I'm not sure if it's where the top of these accessory pockets happen to ride, but if it's cold out, it will irritate my nipples. And I know that's a weird thing to complain about, but I have noticed it on several hunts. Like, I wish there was just a way for me to adjust this slightly, or maybe move these accessory pockets even just up or down a 1/2 inch. And again, this is not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely had to note it because it's never happened to me with any other bino harness the way it does with this one. So just a note, depending on the shape and size of your torso, if this thing rides in just the right spot, you may also get some irritation. So before we get into my final thoughts and recommendations, quick update about Mindful Hunter outfitting. I have 2 spots left open for Spring Bear in British Columbia. I have 1 spot the week of April 26th and 1 spot the week of June 7th. If you want in on either of those, email me, jay@mindfulhunter.com. In addition to that, I have 2 spots open for archery mule deer in Alberta the 2nd week of October this coming fall. Other than that, all Mindful Hunter outfitting spots are full and sold out for 2026, and 2027 is already started to book up. So if you are interested in coming out on a hunt in either BC or Alberta, shoot me an email, jay@mindfulhunter.com, and book a hunt even before the 2027 ones get sold out. Okay, here's the deal. Of all of the systems I have tested and reviewed over the years, right now, for people who like a modular, comprehensive chest pack with the ability to hold large, image stabilizing binos, I have to say the Stone Glacier Sentinel is the best system by far. Now, there are still 2 drawbacks to this system. Number 1, no padding for your binoculars in kind of like the upper portion because it's nothing but fabric there. And number 2, the Velcro of these wing pockets. But if you can get past the padding and the Velcro, this is the best system I have found by far. So there you have it, my thoughts on the Stone Glacier Sentinel Bino Harness System. If you enjoy non-sponsored, unbiased gear reviews and you want to see more content like this, please head on over to mindful-reviews.com and sign up for one of the subscriptions. That enables me to make more content like this for you guys to help you make better decisions on the gear that you buy for hunting. If you can engage with this content in any way, shape, or form, like, comment, share, subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, thank you for tuning in.